Is death miles away from this house, reaching for a widow in Cincinnati, or breathing down the neck of a lost hiker in British Columbia? Is he too busy making arrangements, tampering with air brakes, scattering cancer cells like seeds, loosening the wooden beams of roller coasters, to bother with my hidden cottage that visitors find so hard to find? Or is he stepping from a black car, parked at the dark end of the lane, shaking open the familiar cloak, its hood raised like the head of a crow, and removing the scythe from the trunk? Did you have any trouble with the directions, I will ask, as I start talking my way out of this. I'm Sean Boyle, and that was My Number by Billy Collins. And to me, the reason I chose this poem is because on the surface, it may just appear like another creepy poem about death coming to get someone, and death is like something that we can't be always looking over our shoulder about and always fearing. We have to live our lives, and that's really the reason I chose it, because I believe in living every day to its fullest, and I believe that that's kind of the vibe that I got at the end of this poem, definitely, is that, especially in that final couplet, which shows the narrator's kind of like deceptiveness and his ability to avoid death, because I believe, when he says, I will start talking my way out of this, that he believes that he is going to get out of this and that he can avoid death. To me, it's an important poem because it shows kind of the two sides of it, because early on it's really eerie and dark, and the poem discusses the ways in which death presents itself, and the poet Billy Collins uses a lot of language which kind of evokes images of the Grim Reaper. When he talks about the familiar cloak, the crows, and pulling the scythe out of the back of the trunk, all those things really resonate and create images of the Grim Reaper. But at the end of it, the poem kind of switches 180 and kind of switches to more about like getting out of death and avoiding it at all costs. And I really do get something different out of this poem every time, because although I always have that same thought in my head about living life to its fullest and not being afraid of death, I always get a little something different out of it each time I read it. Especially, it definitely seems like the poem is very self-aware and knows of sort of the message it's putting out there, and kind of like the really creepy stuff earlier in the poem, but then it kind of wants the reader to have that feeling at the end of it, that feeling that this is escapable and there is a lighter side to this, that the narrator is going to try to get out of this situation he seemingly created for himself. So that's another